Hey folks, how you doing? My name's Gary from Great Marketing Leader, and thank you very much for joining us on this Facebook Live, which is all about 25 tried and tested marketing strategies that you can implement straight away. Now, this is designed to be about an hour long, and if you've got any questions at any time, please put them in the comments below. And thank you very much if you're watching on the replay. And also, if you're joining us live, put where you're from and just say hey to everyone else who's watching. Now, in the group just before I posted this, I put a link to this good workbook. Now, this is what I'm going to be working towards. There's a lot of information here, and I want you to get the maximum amount of time and maximum amount of I want to make sure that this hour is as full on as possible. So if you haven't already downloaded it, please do, and I'll be putting the link to it in the comments. But if you haven't already, go into the Grow community and check it out. Remember, this is a workbook that you really need because it's going to give you all the information that you need. I'm just going to cover the bits in between it. So, going to be covering 3 different parts within this Facebook Live. First part, what is a marketing strategy? Let's break it down into the basics. Number 2, we're going to be then talking about the 25 different strategies that you can use. And then we're going to be putting it all together and giving you a really easy way of just mushing it there so you can start using those marketing strategies straight away. So, first of all, what is a marketing strategy? Well, I say in the booklet, I break it down into 4 different parts, which I'm just going to quickly share with you in the group, just really quickly. But mainly, a marketing strategy is as simple as it sounds. It's a strategy to basically help your marketing, which means, and I've just posted a link to the workbook in the comments there, that's already loaded in the Facebook group. So, marketing strategy is a long-term approach to basically get your message out to your customers. It relies on 3 key principles, really. It means that you are aware and you know what your company wants to say, you know what your customer wants, and you know what the competition is doing, and it communicates what your company's values are, or what that particular product or service is going to offer your customer. That translates purely into sales. Equally, a marketing strategy could be a way of creating content in less than 10 minutes long. It could be anything else that you want it to be. Main thing for me, and this is what I want to get through to you guys today, this is all about helping you navigate that circle that you hear so often, the know, like, trust. Because if you have a strategy and you play the long game, not the short game, which we'll go on to in a bit, and you know that you want to start talking to your customers, you want to make sure that you know who they are, then actually you want a strategy that plays more than, you'll probably have 4 or 5 different strategies playing at one time. But the more things you put out there, the more people can see you in the right positive way. Do you know what? Things are going to happen. And it's all about being there and being available for people. Now, market strategy, you can include different forms of mediums. So it could be TV adverts, it could be radio, it could be press, it could be blogs and newsletters, Facebook Lives, videos, whatever it could be. But the main thing is you're putting content out there. So let's kick off with 25 marketing strategies that you can use in your business. Now, most of these are going to be free, so these are going to be based on your organic reach. Now, basically, I focus really on the organic stuff. Don't really do much with Facebook ads. So if you know any Facebook ads, please tag them below. Any Facebook ads specialists, tag them below. But these are all, to most, all free or very, very low cost. And remember, I've already put it in the comments, but if you haven't already downloaded the workbook, which is in the group and in the comments, then you'll have them all there. What I recommended people to do in the workshop is, because you've got a nice wide page and loads of places for notes, you can then make notes there. So if you have got the workbook and you're making notes, then that's great. If not, after you've watched this, go back and check it out. Number 1, first marketing strategy that I always love and recommend people is the last customer conversation. Now, last customer conversation is quite simple, and that basically refers to thinking about the last customer you spoke to and you breaking it down into 3 different parts. 1, what was the customer talking about to you? What was their pain point? Number 2, how you came up with a solution for that issue. And number 3, how you solved it. So basically, it's that simple. It's what the problem was, what was the solution, and how you personally solved it. Now, this could be unique, this is going to be unique to everybody, but if you want to share your last customer conversation in the comments, please do. Give you an idea, my last customer conversation happened this morning. I manage a Facebook page and I had content from a particular supplier, and they wanted me to post it on there. No worries, all good, and I love waking up on a Monday to seeing that. But there was an issue with the content. They sent me through, it was compressed, the image was distorted, so I had to go back to them to do it. I then had a conversation about that particular thing with them just before going live, and they sent me through the correct version so I can send it out, but they weren't aware of it. So if I was going to turn that into a last customer conversation piece of content, I could do a quick video all about making sure that your content's the right size, format, shape, whatever it is. I could talk about actually how communication is really important in business and how you communicate with your customer and your customer communicate with you is dead important. It could be anything else as well, but they're the 2 that spring to mind straight away. So that's how I would personally use the last customer conversation. Now that strategy will help you in everyday life. If you're ever stuck for content, if you're ever stuck looking at your screen going, what the hell am I going to put out there, that strategy is going to dead help, because it is so simple and it's going to change every day. As long as you're talking to customers all the time or once a day, you're going to have that same amount of content going out plus more. So strategy 1, last customer conversation. Dead simple, so simple, but please start using it. Number 2, create an A to Z directory of your terms, services, networking peeps, whatever it is. But A to Z's kick ass, they are brilliant. The reason for this is twofold. First of all, if you're in a business which has got loads of jargon or loads of products, it's a really easy way of you focusing and organising your products, services, or terms, whatever you've got, you can organise it in a dead simple way. Equally, it gives you 26 pieces of content, and those contents could be blogs, they could be videos, they could be art, they could be anything, they could be posts, they could be anything, like I said. So, first of all, for the people who have just joined us, the first strategy was last customer conversation. Second strategy was create an A to Z. A to Z, as I said, could be taken in many forms. It could be videos, blogs, it can be for your products, it could be for your services, it could be for your terms, it could be for your networking colleagues, wherever it might be. But the beauty is that you'll have 26 pieces of content that you can spread out at a frequency that serves you best. So you could do them weekly, and that means you've got half a year's worth of content straight away. You could do it daily. You could do it at different networking events. So I know one VA who's doing an A to Z over the course of her networking events, and every time she's at a meeting, so it's every 2-week cycle, she does a different letter. She's got content for the whole year. It's easy, it's great. That's her 40 seconds sorted. So depending on how you want to use it, an A to Z is a great way of organising, but also promoting what you want to say. Now, I've seen A to Zs also in ebooks. I've seen them in podcasts. And, it can be really anything you can think of. Please do. But the one thing to bear in mind is when you're producing content like this, and it's long form, so it's over a long period of time, people take their time to read it, make sure you're putting it in the places where they're going to be. So if your ideal customer is, let's say, loves reading, then you put it into an ebook. If they're more visual or time poor, you might put it into a podcast or a video. A podcast is going to be great for them to listen to when they're walking their dog, going to the gym, on commuting between meetings. A video might be better for when they're sitting at a desk watching something like this, or when they're at home watching something on their phone or computer or TV. Think about your customer and make sure you produce your content in that arena to basically mean that you're going to get the maximum impact and your customers can enjoy in the setting that they want to. A to Z, great way. Number 2, A to Z. Now, if you've got any questions at any time, please put them in the comments below. I am watching them, and thank you very much for joining. Right, number 3, in the workbook, if you haven't already downloaded it, it's in the Grow group and also Grow community and also in the comments. It's called the final countdown. Now, if you've got a launch for a product, an event, a new service, office opening, whatever it might be, then do a countdown. People freaking love a countdown, especially if it's, you know, if you're really excited about it. That's a great way of getting them excited about it as well. So, countdown could probably start from 14 days. Hey, actually, it can start from any time. But I've seen them start from 6 months, 1 month, 2 months. So go down from 6, 2, 1, 14, 10, and then breaking down into days. I've seen it, you know, I've seen it hours. I've seen countdown in many different forms. They're normally great for individual posts, so not long form posts like blogs, videos, newsletters, that kind of thing, but good for individual posts. GIFs work really well for it, or if you've got a branded image that you can change the number, then it saves you time. And if you're going to do a branded image like that, put it in, use something like Canva or Splice to design it, or InDesign or any other program that you've got. But the main thing is keep it simple, and final countdowns, the countdown part of it works really, really well. Especially, as I said, if you're launching a new product, event, service, or anything else that has got a date associated with it. Okay, remember, if you've got any questions, please put them below. Number 4 is, let me just check the workbook, and if you haven't got it, please print it or check it out, it's not always about business. Now, most of these strategies are business related, but actually, what is marketing? It's just you communicating a message to your audience. So actually that could be personal. And I would always suggest that actually it's okay to post personal information or personal kind of bits, as long as it relates to your business, on your business pages and your business groups. The thing is, people buy from people, and actually instead of B2B or so business to business or business to customer, hey, everyone's human, so let's just go H to H, human to human. And the thing is, you're going to be drawn to people who you like and who you trust. And by sharing a bit of personal information, that might go a long way to building that trust. And that might, as well, separate you from someone else. You know, in my industry, there's loads of people doing social media training. There's loads of people doing coaching. There's loads of people creating content. And you're drawn to the people who you want to naturally work with. So, when I say it's not always about business, what I mean is sharing pictures of your dog walk. Maybe changing it so it's the end of a week post rather than, oh, it's a nice sunny day, I'm going to take the dog out for a walk. You know, if you're into Star Wars, talk to people about Star Wars. You know, if you're into arcade games or you're into a certain TV program, share it. Take it back to a business message, but why not share it? Because those people who like those similar interests to you, they're going to be drawn to you more than anybody else. So, when I say it's not all about business, this is a good strategy, just long term. You know, don't always focus on business. Don't always focus on your sales message. Make sure you've got a nice mix. And when you're looking at your sales mix kind of and your messages mix, you know, if you're, let's say you've got 10 messages going out, make sure maybe one, you know, maybe 2, but definitely 1 is a sales message. The rest of it is content that you want to share to provide value, and then a few posts to direct people to different places like your websites. You know, you want to make sure that you're providing content, value, and engaging content for your audience. Non-business posts are a great way of doing it. So number 4, it's not always about business. Post about your personal interest as well. So we've done 4 so far. We've got another 21 to do, 45 minutes on the clock, 2 minutes each, boom. So number 5, use video across all platforms. There's not a single platform out there now that has an integrated video. From Facebook to Instagram, to Twitter, to LinkedIn, to YouTube. You know, video is slowly kind of taking over news feeds, and live streaming like this is also taking over. It's good. It's a great way of getting people engaged with it. It is. And the thing is, when you're looking at video and live streaming, it's a great way to interact. I can see what you're saying by looking at the comments there. So if you've got a question about anything, what I'm talking about, you can put it on there. I can then talk. So using video, live streaming, it's a great way of interacting. I get it, it's not for everyone. And some people are either going to love video, some people are going to hate it. Both of which are fine. Main thing is, if your audience likes to watch video, then actually you should really be doing video. If your people love blogs or listen to podcasts, you should be okay to creating that content. So when people say to me, oh, I really should do video, I always say to them straight away, well, are your customers watching videos? And if the answer is yes, then great, they need to do videos. They've got to remember also with videos, you don't have to be in it. You know, there's three main styles of videos. Number one, where you talk to camera, so very similar to this. Number two, maybe when you're interviewing someone or you're at a location, so you're showcasing someone. And number three, you don't have to be in it at all. It can be an animation, it can be product shots, it could be a collage with music in the background or you talking over. It could be a slideshow with you giving information. There's loads of different ways out there, but you don't have to be in the video. Main thing is producing video content is not actually that hard. There's loads of apps available out there, and I do all of my videos on my smartphone. So I am testament to the fact that technology in smartphones is pretty much impressive. Records in 4K, which is higher than the upload limit on places like YouTube or Facebook. They only do 1080. So you can record in really crisp video. Just need to change your settings and you just need to give it a go. Don't give up at the first hurdle. Keep trying. Make mistakes. You don't have to publish them, remember. You can just make the video, don't like it, delete it. You haven't lost anything because you've learned one way of not doing it. But start using video. And if you're not sure, I'll be running my 14-day video challenge at some point soon. Then yeah, come and join us. But please use videos across all platforms. Make sure that when you use videos on platforms, you're tweaking the size and the shape and the format to suit that platform. For instance, Instagram's grid, you can only have up to a minute. IGTV on Instagram is portraits only. Facebook and Twitter and YouTube all support landscape or portrait or square photos. You know, so you've got to really think about where your audience is. Is it on Instagram? If so, you make a square video. If it's on IGTV, so Instagram TV, you do portrait, which is also suitable now on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But if you are using it across platforms, the landscape is probably going to be best in my opinion because you can use it on more, and people universally still recognise it. You know, it's the shape of your TV, the shape of a computer screen, so it fits. But if your customer is purely on mobile, then do portrait. Always go back to your customer. Always go back to your customer. And remember, if you're in and out today or within the next hour, don't worry about it. You can always catch up. This is going to be in the group till, well, it's not going to be on timeline forever. Number 6, you can do a product service of the week/month. Now, if you're a retail business or if you've got loads of different products in stock, then this is a great way that you can do that. I know Raj is on this Facebook Live, and Raj, if you have done a product of the week, month, whatever it is, then that's great. If you've got any examples of these marketing strategies in place or you have, put them in the comments below because these are great. But doing a product service of the week means that you've got content going all the way around the kind of year, and it's always going to be changing. You know, if you're a retail space, a restaurant, a bar, you know, and you've got different things coming in all the time, so different pieces of stock, great way of showcasing 1 or 2 pieces every week, every month. Hell, you can do it per day if you want, but week or a month works as well. If you're a kind of business to business, so more of an accountancy or a HR company, then actually a service of the month might be more suitable. And hey, you can change these depending on what you've got on your schedule and what your customers are asking about at the moment. It all depends on really what they're talking about. I would say if you're focusing on what they're talking about and you're creating content around that, your content's going to be more valuable than you just thinking that out on top of your head. So have a think about a product or service of a week/month. And if you're not too sure how many you've got, do it as a longer time frame, because you can always shorten the time frame. So you can always start with monthly, and after the second or third month you can go weekly if it's working for you or it's not. So marketing lesson or strategy number 7, have your own regular live streaming show. Now again, this isn't going to be for some, but this is going to be for, you know, a few or many. Now, having a regular live streaming show means that people know when you're going to go live, so therefore if they've got any questions for you, they can ask them at that particular time. Within this Grow community, we have got a Friday Thoughts show, which happens every Friday between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock for a half hour. It can sometimes start at 4, sometimes starts at 3:30. But the main thing is, we join together at that point and talk about what we've learnt. We talk about our experiences. We talk about a few questions that people might have. We get people to come in and go join us for the live show. So it's their chance to incorporate themselves into the Facebook Live. So it's just not me talking. But the main thing is we always meet up between 4 and 5 for a half hour on Friday. Now this means that every week they know that I'm going to be going live, and if they've got any questions they can shout out. But also if they want to share any good news or any experiences, again, they know when it's going to be. From a selfish point of view, it means that every week I'm accountable to the group to do a Facebook Live, which means that I will consistently sharpen my presentation skills, and I'll always be creating content, which is great. But also, it means that actually people get to know me more and actually get to know people quicker if they come on to the Friday Thoughts. Going to be honest, I would love it if the whole Friday Thoughts is me just talking to people on Facebook Live. It would be ace, rather than me just talking. But having your regular show is so important. It doesn't just have to be you talking into the camera. You can have a guest who you're talking to. You can have a regular show where you're at a different location each week. It could be you talking about top tips. It could be you talking about any of the strategies that we've spoken about today. But the main thing is you having a regular live show that people are accessible. And you've got live streaming services now on Facebook, Twitter, as in Periscope, IGTV, Instagram TV, and YouTube. LinkedIn is rolling out at the moment. So you've already got the top 4 platforms integrating live streaming, with LinkedIn catching up this year. So, you know, when's the best time to start live streaming? Today. That's the best time. You know, while you're walking between meetings, have a quick thought, think about the last customer conversation, and then talk about that. You know, but the best thing to do really is to have your own start your own live streaming show. Number 8. Can't count. Yeah, number 8. Digital showcase or social media takeover. This is where someone else takes over your social media for a day, or your social media posts talk about a particular person, service, whatever it is, for a particular timescale. Now, this is great if you've got a big network that you want to share the information with. So, let's say, for instance, you saw that myself, who's got quite a large network of people. I could showcase once a day, once a week, a particular person by making 5 dedicated social media posts for them to showcase their business. It could be a link to their blog, a link to their website. It could be them doing a video. It could be a couple of pictures of them in action, whatever it might be. For a retail store, it could be a product takeover. So for one day, you talk about a particular product or service. For a B2B company, it could be you focus on a particular niche product or service for a particular day. But by concentrating your energy on one particular area of your business, could that be a product or a service, or a different person even, you are first of all creating content, but also you're showcasing that person, that product, which is going to give more awareness to that sector. If it's that person, if someone else has taken over your social media, they're going to shout about it, so therefore their audience is going to be aware of you. Now, they might have already been aware of you, but so it might be a bit more of a greater awareness campaign, but it might be a completely different area that you're not used to. So you could be introduced to a brand new set of people straight away. Digital showcases, social media takeovers work. I've done it in the past, and it's good to focus your mind, and it's good to showcase those particular products or services. And I've done it both on products, services, and people. All three work. Digital takeovers rock. Number 9, location, location, location. Now, if you're in a fancy building, or if you're out and about, or if you're on holiday, or an expo event, or anywhere really where people can see you and where you can showcase where you are, then, it's a great opportunity then to take photos, to take videos, to talk to people who are at the shared event. The location is such a simple way of doing it. You can't use it all the time, so it's not a regular strategy, but it's having it at the back of your mind, so when the opportunity arises, you're there, you can do it, and actually it's ready for you to go. So location, 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 dead simple, but just document where you are. I'm not going to go too much more into that. Go document where you are. Number 10, go personal with your audience. Now, when I say go personal, what I mean is really 3 different bits. I want you, it's been proven, if you don't post anything for a month, but you like, you comment, and you share people's posts, your stats, your website traffic, your engagement, your reach, your impressions, they'll all go up. Now, you might be thinking, why the hell would that be? I'm not sharing any of my messages. It's because you're talking to people. You are talking to people. And this is what I mean by go personal with your audience. So many people spend more time on their business page, on Facebook, on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, broadcasting. And what I mean by broadcasting is just sending messages outwards. But if you spend your time, or spend more time, taking over people's contents, so looking at people's posts, pages, videos, blogs, then commenting, liking, and if it provides value to your audience, share it, you're going to be onto a winner. You are seriously going to be onto a winner, because you're taking an interest in them. You're going to be stepping into their world. Suddenly it's not about you, it's about them and their content. And if you share their content with your audience, then actually they're going to appreciate it. Your audience is going to meet a new set of ideas and values, which, if you've matched it up well and you agree with the content, are going to match with your core values, which is going to be even more, better for your audience and yourself. Also, it can reinforce some of your key messages as well. So, if you spend your time liking, commenting, and sharing people's content, you are going to storm it. And I would recommend spending twice the amount of time that you spend broadcasting, spend it actually responding to people, talking to people, commenting, liking. And not just on one platform, do it on every one. Do it on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. Do it on all of the platforms. YouTube comments last for ages. Put a couple of comments in their YouTube channels. But spend more time liking, sharing, commenting. Now we're about halfway through, and I'm on number 11, so we're pretty much on track. Number 11 is all about asking your audience. Now, everybody's nosy. Everyone loves to give an opinion about a particular topic. So ask your audience a question and engage with them when they give you an answer. This is great within groups such as the Grow Community on Facebook, because people want to talk. So if you ask them a question about what they're up to at the weekend, what networking events they're going to, ask them about what their favourite product, have you been to this place, whatever it might be. Asking questions are the number one way of getting engagement, because if they respond, you can respond back and you start a dialogue. So start by simply just writing 10 questions that you can think about. And it can even be 10 questions that you get asked yourself that you want to throw back to your audience. So for instance, I could ask people, based on my last customer conversation that I spoke about before, which was all about the right size and shape and format of videos and photos, you can say to them, you know, what format do you upload your pictures? You know, are you a portrait, landscape or square kind of person? You know, those kind of questions work. You can throw it out there more generally by asking about where they've been, what they're up to, what they're struggling with, and all of these questions will help build trust as well. So ask your audience questions. And remember, at this point, I might as well do it as well. If you've got any comments or if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments below. I can see them on the screen, so I will respond to them. Number 12 is all about creating and nurturing a community. Now, Facebook's done a recent change over the last couple of weeks where they've put groups as the heart of Facebook. And I believe actually a community isn't just relied on one platform. I think a community is who you've got around you. And that could be on Facebook, that could be online, it could be offline, it could be your networking colleagues. Whoever it might be, you've got a community around you and you need to create and nurture them. Nurture them by talking to them, by doing the like, commenting and sharing, and creating new by seeing who's looking at different hashtags on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and following them and starting conversation. The main thing is you want to grow your network and you want to nurture who's inside it. Now, if you've got a Facebook group, and I say Facebook group because that's probably the easiest group to set up at the moment, then you want to be posting there every day. You want to be visible in there. You want to be going in there probably 2 or 3 times a day, talking to people, asking questions, having conversations. The more you put into Facebook groups, the more you're going to get out. Trust me, I know. This group pretty much lay stagnant for the first 6 months, got my ass into gear, and now I'm posting there 2 or 3 times a day. And I love it. You know, this is my place where I produce content first. So everyone in the Grow community gets exclusive content before anywhere else. And that's why I'm doing this Facebook Live into this today. You know, this is a golden way of you creating and nurturing a community. The trick is to make sure that your community is not just in one place and it is in a place, you know, it's in different places. You know, play the what if game. What if Facebook closed down tomorrow? What would happen to all the people on your Facebook page? Would you be able to communicate? What if your website went down? What if YouTube stopped? What would happen to all your videos? You know, you've got to play the what if game and have backups for that. So don't have your community just in one place, have it spread out and make sure you are nurturing them and talking to them and supplying value to them and they can supply value to you. You know, that's what communities should do. It shouldn't be just about one person, one platform. It should be spread out. Number 13 is one of my favourites out of all of them, and that is play the long game, not the short game. Now, what I mean by that is think about your social media as a long-term project, you know, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and think about if you're posting what you're posting now, where would your community be? Where would your videos be? Where would your podcast be? Whatever it is, in 10 years' time, 5 years' time, 3 years' time. Because by playing the long game, what you're doing is you're seeing the bigger picture. You're not worried about then videos that only get 4 or 5 views now. You're not worried about your community only being 100 plus people because actually in 3 years' time, 5 years' time, it's going to be 1,500, 1,000 people. Play the long game. But also think about it. You don't know when your customers are online. You don't know when your customers seen your content unless they've replied or liked, shared it. So by playing the long game, what you're thinking actually is, well, people are going to be seeing my content for years. Videos on YouTube is going to last years and years and years. Facebook Lives on timelines are going to last for ages. So actually don't be worried about them. You know, think about the amount of value you're bringing, and actually this Facebook Live, you know, if I'm playing the short game, it's got 4 people watching at this precise moment, which has gone down to 2. You know, people dip in and out. Am I worried about that? Hell no, I'm not. Because I know that with this piece of content, I can first of all share it on the timeline. I can share it within groups afterwards. Also, I can create a podcast from this particular Facebook Live, and also I can use the video on my YouTube channel. I can create a longer piece of content from there, or I can use this video, cut it up into different marketing strategies and use it as short form videos, which then people can use from there. So that's why I'm not worried about how many people are watching at the moment. If you are watching, thank you. You know, it's great. And I'm just seeing Robert kind of come up, say, hi Robert, how you doing? But the main thing is, don't worry about the short game. Play the long game. You know, if your Facebook group has only got 50 people in at the moment, but you want to grow it, then that's fine, because you've got a plan to grow it. You know, don't worry about not getting the sale straight away, because the return on investment on social media is really, really low if you play the short game. If you play the long game, however, that's when it will start to make a big difference to your business. And the thing is, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. So strategy number 13, play the long game, not the short game. I could go on about that forever. That's going to be a regular topic. But, you know, this is great. And, you know, also, just before I move on to the long game, short game version, Sarah Higgs has put this as a watch party in her group, and there's another 9 people watching, which I wasn't aware of. But the main thing is, and thank you very much, Sarah, for doing it, by the way. The main thing is, don't focus just purely on metrics. You know, focus on the value that you'll give it. That's more important for me than anything else. Number 14, I've got another 11 to do, and then sum it up. Go one-to-one with your audience via Messenger. Now, this is so important. You know, people are busy. You know, how many people at the moment are watching this, but they've got another 10 things that they could be doing at this precise moment? You know, people are mega busy, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're communicating to your customer in a format and at the time when they can respond. Facebook Messenger is great for getting a quick information out there, and also you can see when people say it. So go one-to-one with your Messenger, with your Facebook following using Messenger. But remember, don't automate it and look like a twat when it doesn't go through. If you're going to set up Messenger bots, make sure that you've got a process in place where after it gets to a particular point in the conversation and the bot can't answer it, a person takes over. Don't automate everything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying go to one-to-one. Use Messenger to communicate with people. Talk to people via Messenger. If you've got a post you've just shared about someone, let them know via Messenger. But going one-to-one with your audience using Messenger, WhatsApp, you know, direct messaging on Twitter, Instagram, so important. So going one-to-one, really, really cool. And remember, the people who have just joined us and the people who are watching the watch party, what I've got is a little booklet, which is this here. It's available in the Grow Community group, and I've put it in one of the first comments on this Facebook Live. And this details the whole 25 strategies that I'm talking about now. So if you are catching up and you want to go back and check some of them out, please do. And this is going to be available in the Grow Community on timeline afterwards as well. Number 15. Repurposing your existing content. Now, this is so important because what you don't want to do is spend time creating a piece of content, be that a video, be that a podcast, be that a blog, could be a web page, whatever it could be, and then you share it once, and then you get disappointed because only 10 people have seen it, or 20 people have seen it, or 100 people have seen it. As I said before, you don't know when your customers are online. You don't know when they're potentially going to be seeing your content. Because even if you look at the stats and insights, they might have some on at that particular time. So what you want to do is you want to repurpose your content and make sure that actually you're sharing it across different times of the day, on different days. So therefore, you can then start to, you know, play the numbers game, and your audience is going to potentially see your content more. Now, I don't mean spamming the hell out of a message or sharing it in every Facebook group you can, just because you can. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is repurposing it maybe a couple of times a week in different places, maybe sharing it on different platforms. And don't worry about people getting sick of your content. There's just so much content out there. Chances are, first time or second time, they might not have seen it because Facebook's algorithm might not have shown it to them. They might not have been online and their timelines got filled up with other stuff. It's not about people getting sick of you. It's about making sure that you're giving them the opportunity to see your content. And you know, it's so important when you're looking at content like that. Don't just share it once, share it across different platforms at different times. Now, number 16 is all about creating and building your marketing assets. Now, when I'm talking about your marketing assets, I'm talking about stuff like your blogs. I'm talking about stuff like your videos, podcasts, and digital stuff, which you can hold in a content library, which is just a spreadsheet with loads of links and titles so you can check it out. But what I'm also mean by that is stuff like these, pens, stuff like this, workbooks, things like your business cards, things like your branded t-shirt. Basically anything that you can use as a marketing asset, which is basically a piece of property owned by for your marketing and probably your business. But start creating more assets. Now, you know, things like pens, business cards, leaflets, pull-up banners, they all cost money. But they improve your visibility at networking events. People remember you by your pens. Pens last, you know, on average 3 to 5 years. You know, it's a really good investment. You know, stuff like this, you know, a workbook, it took me probably about 2 hours, 3 hours to design. Actually probably longer. Cost me money in printing and then binding, but people who have got it can use it and they'll always have it, unless they chuck it away, but that's a different matter. But the main thing is, you've got to start to create your marketing assets. Your marketing assets is also things like your headshots. It's pictures of you at events. If you're speaking in public, you know, get someone to take photos of you talking with the audience to your, you know, you facing the audience so people can see the audience engage and you talking. You know, there's over 30 different marketing assets that you can have with your business. And it could include websites, apps, social media platforms, profiles. Make sure you're building your visibility and creating really good assets for your business. I'll probably do a separate one about that in this group another time. But what I'll probably do actually is get Stacey Calder from the Business Success Network to do a Facebook Live all about creating assets. That's probably going to be a better person to do it. But creating assets, really important. Marketing strategy number 17. I've got 15 minutes to do the last 8. Use your existing network to promote your services. Now, for instance, let's say if I was to promote this Facebook Live, or I've got another Facebook Live coming up, what I could do is I could reach out to the people who are watching this now and ask them, actually, could you share this for me? Or if you've really liked my content, could you possibly pass this through to different people? Using an existing network is a great way of increasing that kind of spider web of information. When I say spider web, you put a poster on social media, that goes out to a certain proportion of people. If those proportion of people then share it, that goes out to their separate person, separate group. If their people then share it, it goes into different sections. So that's what I mean by spider web. In a nutshell, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're increasing your awareness as much as you can while still providing value. If you provide value all the time, people are going to want to share it because they want to pass that value on to their people. And that's what it's all about. You know, it's all about conversations, it's all about awareness, and it's all about providing value. If you remember those 3 things out of this Facebook Live, I've done my job. I've done my job. And I love Sarah's comment there as well. I just want to quickly acknowledge it that, you know, messenger bots are great, you know, but you want to make sure they start the conversation. It's all about having as many conversations as possible. Steph Thomas, one of my good friends, I'm going to be a guest on my podcast in a couple of weeks' time. One of his big mantras is to have as many small conversations as possible, because a small conversation equals a big opportunity. You never know which one's going to kind of come to fruition. So, keep having those conversations. Number 18, however, is all about don't be afraid of trying something different. If you're not too sure about Facebook Live, you're not sure about videos, if you're not sure about being a guest on someone's show, say yes, work it out later. Honestly, best way of doing it. Would I have started my radio show years ago if I hadn't said yes and tried to work it out later? No. If I'm thinking about doing a Facebook Live, best way that I'm going to commit to a Facebook Live is to say to people, I'm going to do a Facebook Live. Don't be afraid of starting something different. And it could be a new product, could be a new service. I would say that you can't be the market leader by copying the market leader. Try something different. Don't be afraid of stepping out your comfort zone. And the more times you do step out your comfort zone, guess what? Your comfort zone is going to stretch. You're going to experience more different things, but also don't be afraid of breaking the status quo and going against your industry. If it feels right to you, do it. Number 19, be a guest. Be a guest. Guest, even. Now, when I say be a guest, everyone's got their own different audiences, and you being a guest on someone else's Facebook Live, blog, podcast is going to introduce you to a different audience. And more importantly, you're going to start to understand the audience a little bit more, and the audience is going to start to understand you. You're going to start a dialogue with those different people. So doing a guest Facebook Live in a group, being a guest on a podcast, or if you're struggling for content, get a guest in for them to contribute to you, is a great way of doing it. If you're stuck on content and you want to put a blog out, get someone who's already wrote a blog to supply that blog for you. They might be able to tweak it so it's a bit more to your audience's tastes. Or if you want to start doing Facebook Lives, get someone else to come in, do an interview style. But be a guest or getting a guest in is a great way of, first of all, increasing that spider web, but also increasing your awareness and getting your face known into different places. So be a guest, number 19, great way of doing it. Number 20 is books, ebooks and free downloads. Now, I'm not saying that everyone needs to be an author, and it doesn't take much time and energy to create a PDF or an ebook. But what you need to do is, if you know who your ideal customer is, you know what issues that they've got. You've got those two bits there. You could be firmly smack bang in the middle and linking the two together. So you could, in theory, be the solutions for their issues. Now, the easiest way is to make a PDF or a quick ebook, giving people different ideas. Now, the main one that I've got for my business at the moment is 60 great ideas for your blogs, podcasts, and videos. Because the main thing that people come to me to say and ask me is, what the hell do I share on social media? What do I share? What can I put out there? So that's why I designed the ebook, just to give them 60 ideas that they can start implementing straight away. And that's originally where all this content came from. So for me, I've solved that issue. So if anyone has got that issue from now on, they can go onto my website and they can download it for free. Also with books, ebooks, printed books, they're a great way of increasing your authority. Because straight away they put you into the top section of people creating content. They make you an authority. It's as simple as that. Especially if you can then buy the book on places like Amazon or Waterstones or wherever it could be. If you can get it in print, that's great. But if you can't, that's not a worry either, because you can create a PDF, you can create an ebook, you can create graphics around it, you can help people in other ways. And also, to be fair, once you've got that content, you can share it in mini forms such as social media posts, you can share it as mini blogs, you can do guest speaking, guest blogs in different places. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to split that content up. So number 20 is all about books, ebooks and free downloads. Also, when it comes to free downloads, just to point out, there's two ways you can really kind of do a free download, in my opinion. One way is you can ask for people's email addresses, and you can use that as data collected opportunity, so they can go into your CRM and then you can market to them, or you just pop it on the website as a free download. It depends on what you want to do, depends on what stage your marketing's at, and it depends on what your strategy is. My gut feeling is that I hate it when I download a free download, put my email address in, and then I get spammed every day, and I unsubscribe within a week. I can't see any point in that. So I've got two working at the moment. The one that I love is my free downloads. If you just go to growmarketingmedia.com/free guides and downloads, you will get 15 guides straight away that you can use. That is what I love doing. That's what I love to kind of supply to people. Personal preference only. Some people say, get them in your funnel, get their email address, start marketing them. I'm not like that. Depends on who you are. But having books, ebooks, free downloads, golden opportunity. Number 21, all about automation and e-courses. If you've got knowledge up in here that you want to share to maximum amount of people, e-course could be the way forward for you. And that could be a series of videos followed by a series of blogs, followed by a series of challenges, all separated per day into a particular topic. And then you send out one newsletter. That could be an e-course. Automation is great, and what I mean by that is if someone joins your mailing list, you can have an education automation on your page that sends them out welcome emails and then a couple of free little bits afterwards. Maybe the last one could be a selling post, who knows. But automation saves time once it's set up, spreads your messages so much quicker than what you can, and also it means that they can look at the content at different times. Also with automation, I'm talking about scheduling on social media. If you're not scheduling on social media and you're just trying to post live all the time, do you know what? You're not going to get the most out of social media. What you really want to do is spend time, probably once a week, twice a week, scheduling your messages in. That includes videos, blogs and all that jazz. But then, spend the rest of the time talking to people. Remember, like, comment, sharing. 3 important words. Keep doing it because it's so important. So number 21, automation and e-courses. And remember, if you're just joining us, like Nigel here, cheers for joining. Workbook, which covers everything that I'm talking about, is available in the first comments or in the Grow Community group. Check it out and watch this back with it. Number 22 is cold calling. Some people love it, some people hate it, but done right, you get a damn good return on investment. Depends if you like it or not. I'm not going to cover too much into this, but cold calling is certainly something that you want to test out. I would say that instead of cold calling, change it, and because you know who you're going to be talking to, find them on social media, connect with them first, start talking to them, and then call them once you've had a few conversations, because instead of having a cold call, it's going to be a warm call. But cold calling done right is really good. Number 23, in the booklet it's called Wait a Minute, Mr. Postman, and that is all about sending letters, sending direct mail to different people. Now, this could be postcards saying congratulations on your recent award win. This could be a top tips. This could be anything that you want to send out. But the amount of digital stuff that's out there at the moment compared to how many letters you get through the post, if you want to start separating yourself, you could look at sending posts through to different people. Number 24, we've got 5 minutes left, is all about testimonials. Now, testimonials can be done in a number of different ways, including digitally on Facebook. It could be on Google. It could be on any kind of number of platforms that you want. Main thing is that testimonials help your business because it tells people that you're worth looking at, you're worth trusting, and it increases that no like trust cycle a little bit quicker. So testimonials, great way of doing it. If you haven't got any for your business at the moment, start asking. If you've given really good service to someone, they're going to be more likely to shout about you to their peeps and to other people than you probably are. The hardest bit is starting to ask for them to start off with. So testimonials, a really good way of doing it. And lastly, number 25 is email campaigns and building your lists. Now, we've already spoken about this, but having a separate list outside of Facebook, having a separate list from outside your following on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever it could be, you know, is a really good idea. Start building your email list. You own that property. Don't spam the hell out of them. Make sure that you're providing value, and make sure that actually, when you're talking about your list, you are sending the right messages out to your list at the right times. So don't send out a blog to your Facebook peeps if actually they're not going to get any content from it whatsoever. So that is pretty much 25 marketing strategies you can start using. I'm not going to recap really on the whole 25 because that's going to take forever. But the main thing is this back page here, which is just here in the workbook, gives you lists of gives you spaces to write down 4 different strategies. Now, now you can do this now or you can do this afterwards. But the main thing is thinking about which strategies have worked for you, which strategies have resonated with you, which strategies you've liked the look of that you think actually I could start using. My dog's on Facebook now. Here's Ted. But have a think about what strategies you really want to go for head on, and then start to write them down. Write down which ones you've liked. Could it be the last customer conversation? Could it be the automation? Could it be the A to Z? Could it be actually I need to build my email list, or I need to start doing video? Actually, I don't want to do video. I'm going to start doing blogs. It could be the fact that I want to be a guest on a podcast or a Facebook Live, or I could do a digital takeover. Whatever it is, have a think about it. Write down which 4 strategies you want to implement straight away. Then put what content you're going to put down there. So I'm going to create a video series about the last conversations I've had with my customers, for instance. And then at the end of it, put down when you're going to do it. Complete the circle. And that's basically how you put a marketing strategy together. You know, you've kind of got an idea of who you want to target, so your ideal customer. You know what products and services you can help them with to solve their pain points, and then you can then start putting together the strategies in place to do that. Those 25 ways that I've just spoken about are going to give you content coming out to your ears forever. Last customer conversation, seriously, one of the best things that I've ever started. Step out your comfort zone with videos, blogs, podcasts. Great way of keeping evergreen content. And just keep doing it. If you haven't already downloaded this, please do. It's in the group at the moment. I'm going to sign off now because it is bang on 10 o'clock. Done 25 try and test raise. Is it too early for a gin at 10 o'clock? I don't know, but I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.